What is up, internet? It's your boy Tanku, and today we're gonna do another manga that should be an anime. I really like this one, so before we get started, sub to the channel, like those videos, hit me up on the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, comments below. However you want to do that. And with all that said, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about a manga that should be turned into an anime. The manga's name is Maga Tsuki. It's a harem, and I really like it. It's a really good anime. It's funny, they're not this fan servicey, but not super itchy, and they're just the ridiculousness of it. It's hilarious, and you know me, I love harems. Back in the day, Tenchi, all those. I've been watching harems forever. So, basically, you have your main character, Yasuke. And Yasuke is the shrine caretaker with his sister, Miyano. And she's the older sister. She takes care of a lot of stuff. And so, one day, Yasuke is cleaning the yard. In the back of the shrine, there's like their own little personal shrine besides the big shrine that everybody gets to visit or anything like that. And there's a mirror. And he accidentally breaks this mirror. And releases Orihime. Orihime is the goddess of misfortune, and she was trapped in that mirror. And so basically, she ends up cursing him. And how she's cursed is his soul kind of like goes inside of her, and so she has to always be touching him, or else he dies. And in order to revive him, she has to kiss him to revive him because his soul's in her. And they're trying to figure out how to break the curse, and basically the only way they can break the curse is to make him happy. Make Orihime happy, and that would somehow break the curse. And Orihime is a very, very attractive girl, anime girl, the typical stuff. The one problem is Yasuke is in love with his childhood friend, Akari. And Akari and him grew up together, childhood friend. He's always loved her, and this happens pretty much on the day he was going to confess to her. So, of course, throws a wrench in his plans and all this stuff. And, one of the first interactions between Akari and Orihime is when she's kissing him to revive him because she killed him by accident again. And, it wasn't a very good first interaction. So, she ends up living with them because the sister somehow arranges it to where the girls can live with him. And then you can find out that whoever loves him more at a certain moment, the soul would go out of one girl's body and then go into the other girl's body. And so she has to hold his hands at all time or be touching him at some point at all time, because if she doesn't, he dies. And the one who would bring him back is to kiss him. And one side note real quick, Akari's dad is hilarious. He's all for Akari marrying Yasuke and all that. And so the interaction with him when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go live with him." She's like, "Yeah, go ahead, go live with him. Go. I want him to take over the restaurant so he can. You guys have lots of babies." And she's like, "Dad, we're just friends. Let's ease up." That's a little funny side note. And so there's a few more girls that end up coming in. You have Hinata, who is the goddess of the sun, and Orihime's younger sister. She chose the name Hinata to try to blend in with humans a little bit more, but she comes because she finds out her sister's release, and she's trying to rescue her sister from this guy. And she ends up falling for him too, because again, this is a harem. One more goddess gets involved, and that is Izuna. And Izuna was a fox goddess that was on the verge of death. Basically, they're in the mountains chilling, and there's a little tiny shrine, and Izuna was about to die because she's a fox goddess, and these goddesses get their powers from their prayers and people worshiping and stuff like that. So if nobody worships them and nobody prays to them, they basically have no power. They end up dying. Well, Yasuke runs into the shrine and cleans it up and prays to it because it was all wrecked and torn down, and he says he's he's a guy that takes care of shrines for a living. He's like respectful, like doing that. And it ends up being it was Izuna's shrine. And so, of course, she falls in love with him and moves in with them as well. And she's my favorite because she straight up just says, "Oh, this is a husband." And she's like telling everybody else, "You're terrible wives," because, they're all married, because they have to like share his soul every time it switches between them and hold their hands. And when she has his soul, it's hilarious because she's like, "Oh, okay, I have your soul. I get to mate with hubby now." And that's like her favorite saying, "I want to mate with hubby." And it's amazing because it just puts off the other girls so much because she's so straightforward about it. and it's amazing. And she's like Fox Goddess, but she could turn into like a human. And she's like, oh, do you like this form? And she like changes forms for him and stuff like that. It's really cool actually. And the last girl to get involved in the mix is Momoko. Momoko is Yasuke's distant relative. They don't really make it clear, but I think it's like a second or third cousin. And she just comes in at one point and is like, hey, I'm his fiance, deal with it. And they're like, what the heck? He's like, yeah, my grandma betrothed me, and my grandma and his grandpa betrothed us to each other, so we're getting married and all this stuff. And even Yasuke doesn't even really remember who this girl is, so she busted on the scene, and just to mix it up a little bit. It's a good, nice harem. It's comedy. It's funny. He's dying all the time because they're always fighting over his souls. You got all these girls who are not the same. They're different, very different, mentally and character-wise. That's why I like it. And I do like the way the ending went. I'm not going to tell you guys how it goes because, one, they should make an anime out of it. The manga's finished. It's done, so it should be easy to put all this together for an anime. Beginning, middle, end. It'll be perfect. And I like the way they ended it. It's you don't really see this ending too often that was in this manga, so I think it's really good. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm crazy for thinking that this should be turned into an anime? They'd be like, yeah, let's leave it in manga form, leave it at that. Or do you agree with me? Like, yeah, I think this would be pretty funny if they put it in anime form to see how it goes, Tell me what you think in the comments below on the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And with all that said, guys, let's have everybody have an awesome, awesome day.